Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Friday Feeling. Well, what a few weeks we've had. Sales continue to flourish. You've hit all your June sales targets. Airlines are still cancelling flights, unfortunately. A heat wave is coming. And of course, after months of dodging bullets, the wicked witch has gone. Boris has gone. So it's not all bad news. So this week, I'm joined once again by Katie. Good morning, Katie. How are you?
Good, thank you, Paul. How are you?
Very well, thank you, on this sunny day. And also joined by new head of sales, Brad, which will be his first time on the Friday Feeding. It's great to have you, Brad, and look forward to hearing a little bit more about you and also your first few weeks in the role, because I hear that you've been here, there and everywhere. How's it been for you?
Yeah, good morning, Paul. Morning, Katie. Happy Friday, everybody. Delighted to be here. Thank you. And yeah, it's been a great few weeks, and really excited to be out and about, meeting lots of travel agents, meeting the BDMs, and even go on my first cruise, which was fantastic.
Wow. So look, we're going to hear a little bit more from Brad in a moment, but I would firstly like to start by saying thank you. A big thank you to everybody in the business, especially for the last couple of months and more importantly, the last few weeks, as it's certainly not been easy. I would like to especially thank three people, and the three people are Janine, Suzanne and Gemma, who I know have worked tirelessly behind the scenes every day, changing flights and making sure that our guests get to their holidays on time or return back safely, because I see how many come through every day. There's flight change from BA, there's KLM, everybody is changing flights, and it's not just about giving us a couple of days notice. There are times where it's been last minute, there's been times that it's over the weekend. I also thank Angie and Katie also for stepping in to support as well during these times, and especially over the weekend. So well done. It just shows that together, teamwork will get it done. We've been thrown all different curveballs, all different bumps in the road, but we've managed to come out of it the other side. So a big thank you for all those extra hours you've worked and weekends, and you really are the APT difference. So thank you. So now we're into early July. Where has those months gone? Our 22 booking window becomes remains the same, which is Europe 1, Europe 2 and Europe 3. But now with the addition of Vietnam as number 4. So we still have so much to sell over the summer months. And although we're in early July, we will operate to October, November. So we've got certainly a great opportunity to get those last minute sales in. And also now that Asia is starting up again, remember we're number 1 to Asia from a river cruise perspective in the UK. So Q1 is going to be a great season for us. We've got a lot of bookings in there already. We've also got the new APT ship that's going into the water. And now we've also got to remember that the old APT ship is now going to Travel Marvel. So really you're getting a 5-star ship for 4-star prices. So we've been very, very busy as a business with a concentration on Europe 1, 2, 3. Now we've got Asia as number 4. But it's not only what we've been doing, Katie, has it? Because you've been very busy with your team as we've increased press activity. We've launched the member portal. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. So last month we upweighted the press advertising, which has nearly generated 400 more calls month on month, which is why we're keeping the pressure on of driving new sales calls while we're balancing all those flight changes. We are still focusing on Europe, but as you've mentioned, we will start to introduce Asia. And this week saw the launch of Asia Q1 2023 with some great emails and some fantastic social content. So thank you, Sarah and Marta, for pulling that together. It was on Facebook this morning and looks brilliant. Apart from all of that, as you've mentioned, Nick has been incredibly busy launching the member portal, which is an objective from the business to try and increase our loyalty of existing customers and new prospects. So we're going to provide exclusive offers on a quarterly basis, thanks to Ange and Matt, and send out bespoke emails to our loyal base. The portal launched this week and we targeted 5,000 of our new prospects who are yet to book. So it's a really good retention tool, and we're in early days, but it will work incredibly well for us. So I'll keep you in the loop of everything else that's happening on that later in the month.
Brilliant, Kate. So 5,000 prospects, and we haven't got 5,000 cabins to sell, which is good news. But hopefully, some of those 5,000 will be jumping on our European trips this year. I know Croatia is becoming a little bit more challenging, as Croatia is such a hotspot over the summer and prices of flights are going up, but we are going to do something about that, which we'll be hearing more about next week. And also now with Asia open up for Q1, it's a good opportunity for us to start moving in that direction. So thank you, Katie. Great overview, and some great things continuing in marketing. And now it's time for you, Brad. Welcome. So Brad, it's great to finally have you in our APT family. It's been a while for you to get here, but we've finally made it happen. How are you feeling? How are your first few weeks been?
Yeah, thank you. I think the first thing to say is thank you everybody for the warm welcome. It's been phenomenal to come from the company I did into this kind of family environment where it's a fantastic culture and everyone's welcomed me with open arms and really been keen to share what they do, share how they do it, and share the successes. So really, really well. Thanks, Paul. It's great to finally be here, as you say. And this is the beginning of week 6. So I don't know at what point I stopped being the new kid on the block, but
you're still there. You're still there.
I'm still there. Yeah, exactly. Still lots to learn. And it's been a fantastic few weeks. Like I said earlier, getting out with the team, meeting so many of our key partners and agents to understand how they're performing, what business is like for them, and more importantly, how we sort of register for them. So that's been brilliant. And I got to go on my first ever river cruise, which was phenomenal to see the product and firsthand and just experience the sheer magnificence of the ships, the food, the cruise, and the experience that all our customers enjoy. So it's been a really, really exciting few weeks.
Brilliant, Brad. So taking it in, Brad, it's your first ever river cruise. I know you had a great time. You loved the hardware. Taking a view from afar, who would you say that river cruising is for?
Well, I went on to the cruise with a preconceived conception, right, of what the customers would be like, and B, what sort of experience I'd have. And I was totally blown away by that, because in my head, I had a vision of almost Zimmer frame kind of people walking about the ship, false teeth falling out. But it's totally the opposite. There were fantastic, customers up enjoying the evenings, the entertainment on the bikes up and down the Danube, really, really enjoying it. So taking away from that, I think we can appeal to a wider base. And I think on the ship, there was a mixture of ages, of course, majority slightly older, but it shows me the opportunity we have, particularly with the new hardware, to reach out and really, really expand that and get more people involved, particularly, the cruise could be as active or inactive as you want it to be, with the cities, with the opportunities that customers have. So it was great to see that and experience it firsthand.
Brilliant. That sounds great, Brad. I mean, you've actually hit the nail on the head. You look today and 50 is the new 40, 60 is the new 50, and people are living longer and people are fitter than they've ever been. And it's all about the mind. And, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you're young in the mind, people have a great time. And that's something I've noticed when I've been traveling recently, is that it's not just the younger demographic that are doing all the activity things. As you highlighted there, when we were last on the cruise, there were people on bikes of all ages and just enjoying life. And I think that as we come out of COVID, as we come into the new world, I think nobody's going to waste a minute, and we're going to take every opportunity that comes our way. So that's great to hear what you've been up to. You've been a very busy man, and I know you've got another few busy weeks ahead of you. But now we want to share to the business a little bit more and find out a little bit more about you. In a game that we play, it's all about you. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and hopefully we'll find out a few things that we didn't know about you, which we will find out today. So we're going to start off with, if you could snap your fingers and become an expert in something, what would it be?
Oh God, what a tricky question. I think, you know, one of the few skills that escaped me in life was skiing. My wife wasn't a semi-pro skier back in the day, and it's something I've never got into. So if I could snap my fingers, I would love to be an expert ski instructor on the slopes, enjoying life from the mountaintops. And that's one thing that I've just never really got into, and I think that would be a fantastic skill to have.
Good answer, Brad.
However,
remember, you've got time. You've still got time.
However, the one thing I've learned over the last few days, I may not be an expert in it, but I'm pretty sure I could give a bloody good run of running the government compared to what we've seen over the last few days.
Brilliant. Look, I'll vote for you, Brad, but I think there's a long line you'll have to get into that will be answered shortly. But you probably would do a better job than to the West. Okay, so what is something you've done but will never do again, apart from skiing?
Oh dear, I think there's lots of stuff in my young social life days that are probably not the best to share on this platform, to be honest, that I wouldn't repeat. But something that I have done, which I've always had a bit of fear of sharks, and I went cage diving in Cape Town a few years ago. And although it was the most thrilling, amazing experience, I'm not sure I'd wish to repeat it again anytime soon. Being under the water with these great white sharks as big as Cessna aircraft coming past you, sort of like chum in the water. It was a crazy experience. So I probably won't jump in that water anytime soon, to be honest.
I love that coming from a South African. When you're in South Africa, there's two things that you're worried about. First of all is, if I get into the water, am I going to get frostbite, especially in Cape Town? And the second one is, am I going to get picked up by a shark along the way? But I totally understand where you're at. So talking about a young child, when you were a young child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
So I blame my late grandmother for this. When I was really young, I used to live in a town with a small airport, and she used to take me to the airport every weekend. And it was in the days where security wasn't really a thing, and you could stand on the apron and watch the aircraft land and take off. And from that day, I always wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be an airline pilot, and that's what I wanted to do. I didn't quite get there, but I'm still in the travel industry, so I got halfway there. So that's from a young child what I wanted to be, and I've always had this affinity for pilots and the sort of lifestyle they lead and how they get to travel and see the world. So halfway there.
I love that, bro. I love that answer. I'll tell you why I love that answer most of all, because it's a mirror of mine. And I think it's just when you're a young guy, and my parents also took me to Heathrow. I lived quite near Heathrow in my youth, and I was taken to Heathrow on the weekends, and we were taken to what it was called the Royal Queen's Garden, where you can get up there for free and watch the planes come in. It was just a bit of a male obsession, I think, or a boy obsession to become a pilot. Then you notice how much work you've got to put in to become a pilot, and also your eyesight has got to be absolutely A1. And I'm already wearing specs, so that rules me up. So what 3 words would your friends use to describe you, Brad?
Well, my close friends, I think, and many of you who have got to know me already, 3 things. I'm calm, I'm collected. Those are the 2 things. And then the third thing I think they would use is that when I say likable, I can talk to anybody, right? And I feel I have that skill. I can hold a conversation, and even if it's a stranger. And those are the 3 things I think my friends would use. Calm, collected, takes a lot to get me riled, takes a lot to get me flustered, and then having that sort of social, likable skill is I think the 3 things they would use.
Well, Brad, you've got nice friends. I would say number 1. Number 2, you've set the bar for the challenge. All right, so that's great. But that's great to hear, and that just sums up. I would agree with that from the few weeks that you and I have spent together. But here's my favourite question, Brad, and it's what's one thing most people don't know about you now. During the last few months, we've had some really good ones. So, you being the head of sales and a big peacock, we need you to put something that really wows the team.
Oh God, I don't know if it's going to be embarrassing or not, but I am a secret aviation geek. You know, probably stemming from my earlier question, I suppose earlier. But I have flight radar on 3 devices that I own. So if I see an aircraft, I click on flight radar, check where it's going, check where it's been, check if it's on time. But this is probably the more embarrassing part. You know, I have this little game on my phone that when I have a spare 5 minutes, it's controlling aircraft around and embarrassing, childish, but I love it. It passes the time and it takes my mind off things when needs to be. So not many people know that about me. So
I love that, Brad. I love that. I'll be checking the minute usage on your phone bill.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing games as you've travelled up to.
For the record, it's not on my work phone. For the record.
That's great, Brad. Listen, thank you very much for sharing this morning. And we have found out a lot more about you than we did know. And I'm sure as the months draw on, we're going to find out even more. So before we close, everybody, I've got 3 things left to share. First of all, it's a happy belated 60th birthday to our Air Queen Janine, and I hope you had a great celebration from all your APT family. Happy birthday. And if you want to know anything more about Air, we know where to go now, don't we, Bradley? Also, a big welcome. Bradley is now not the newest kid on the block, because as business is coming back, our family is growing. And a welcome to our newest member of our APT UK family, Sophia. And she joins our ever-growing CSC team. And finally, the APT difference results. So June, we had our nominations in again for the staff member of the month. And although we didn't have as many nominations as we've had in previous months, we still received some really good ones. So congratulations goes to Sarah, goes to Gemma, and also our new girl, Charlie, for being nominated. But our winner of June's £50 voucher and employee of the month goes to
drum roll,
Nick Cook. Congratulations, Nick. Thank you for launching the loyalty portal. You've done a fantastic job on that. And just thank you again for being June's APT difference, and congratulations. So that's it for this week. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Katie, for joining me. We had a great time. We had great fun, and wishing you all a great weekend. Enjoy the weather and don't forget the sunscreen. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.